There are things in your home right now that are silently feeding the chaos in your mind. You pass by them every day, you may even treasure them, but they carry a weight, one you can't see, yet you feel it in the way your thoughts become restless. Your emotions suddenly shift, your sleep grows shallow. In my years of training, both in the Shaolin temple and in the silence of nature, I've seen how subtle energies affect the spirit. In our tradition, demons are not always spirits with horns or red eyes. Often, they are much closer, shadows of fear, anger, greed, and confusion. They attach not just to people, but to things, to the objects we keep near and the energies they carry. A cracked mirror facing your bed, a gift from someone who hurt you, a drawer full of broken things you keep saying you'll fix. These aren't just harmless, they are doorways. Each one can open a channel for disorder to grow, quietly, like mold in a dark room. In this video, I will guide you through 10 subtle items or patterns that invite disturbance into your home and through your home into your mind. Some of these you may already suspect, others will surprise you. All are connected to the deeper path of discipline, stillness, and self-mastery. Watch until the end. Because it's not enough to remove the object, you must also understand the lesson behind it. Only then will it lose its power. Welcome to 1000 Days of Stillness, a space to refine your inner world step by step. If you value silence, strength, and truth, I invite you to subscribe. Let us walk the path of awareness together. The mind is a room, and just like any room, it can be clean and spacious or crowded with things that serve no purpose. When I walk into someone's home, I don't look at the beauty of the furniture or the cost of the decorations. I observe the silence, the space between the items, the feeling that remains when the talking stops. In our Shaolin tradition, we say, how you arrange your surroundings is how you arrange your thoughts. Clutter is not only a physical problem, it is a spiritual weight. Every object in your space is a conversation, a memory, a pull. When there are too many of them, you no longer know what is speaking to you and what is simply echo. You feel tired without knowing why. You sit down to rest, but your mind keeps running. I have seen many people try to find peace through more books, more tools, more sacred objects. But this is not the way. The true path is through subtraction, removing, not adding. A Shaolin monk's room is not empty because we are poor. It is empty because we are rich in stillness. Each item is chosen. Each corner has space to breathe. This creates a powerful silence, and in that silence, awareness sharpens. You must understand, clutter is not innocent. It is the physical form of postponement, indecision, and unconscious living. You think you are keeping these things, but in truth, they are keeping you. To clear the space around you is to begin clearing the space within you. And when the mind is no longer crowded, what remains is not emptiness. What remains is peace. There's an old saying in the temple, what no longer serves the path must be released. This includes not only habits and thoughts, but even the objects we keep. A broken cup placed back on the shelf. A watch that stopped ticking years ago. A chair with one leg wrapped in cloth to keep it balanced. These things may seem harmless, but they hold more than dust. They hold energy. And when that energy is stuck, it begins to affect the one who lives beside it. In martial arts, everything moves. The breath, the body, the awareness. When something is broken and left unrepaired, it becomes a symbol of resistance to movement, resistance to life. Still water may look peaceful, but without flow it begins to rot. The same is true for the home and for the heart. Many keep broken items not because they are useful, but because they are familiar. There's a memory, a story, a fear of letting go. But clinging to what is already gone only invites stagnation. In the inner world, this creates room for what we call demons, unseen forces like regret, guilt, or hesitation. To live with strength means to live with clarity. Discipline is not only practiced with the body, but also in the choices we make daily. What do I keep close? What do I allow to stay in my space, in my mind? Even something small, when neglected, becomes a reminder of delay, and delay over time becomes weakness. Release what is no longer whole. Let go of what you have outgrown. There is no need to repair everything. Some things are meant to fall away. That is the rhythm of nature. And to move with it is to walk in mastery. Some things weigh more than they appear. A photograph, a letter, a gift resting quietly in a drawer. These are not just objects, they are anchors, not to the present, but to a moment in the past that still breathes inside us. In silence, These items speak, they whisper stories of who we once were, what we endured, or what we lost, and without realizing it, we carry them like stones in the soul. One memory pulls at another, one feeling reawakens the pain we thought we had buried. Shaolin teachings remind us, suffering deepens when we grasp what we should release. The path of non-attachment is not cold or heartless, it is a path of freedom. We honor the past, but we do not become its prisoner. To master the self is to know when the story is over. Not every object must be kept to remember. Not every reminder deserves a place in your sacred space. If it binds your energy to grief, resentment, or longing, it becomes a thread that tugs you backward. Letting go does not mean forgetting. It means choosing peace over repetition. It means trusting that the lesson has already been learned and now it is time to walk forward unchained. Many people believe they are stuck because of external circumstances, but often they are simply surrounded by too many ghosts. Go through your space with quiet attention. Notice what stirs discomfort, what brings heaviness. Then ask, does this object serve my healing, or does it serve my pain? To remove such objects is an act of discipline, a quiet but powerful declaration. I no longer feed this wound. I choose clarity. I choose strength. I choose to be here, fully now. What surrounds you begins to shape you, even when you are not aware of it. The objects in your space carry messages, some quiet, some loud, but all of them speak to your spirit, and some speak in a language that unsettles the soul. There are symbols many keep without thinking. A weapon hung on a wall as decoration, a trophy earned through harm, posters, artwork, or clothing that glorify dominance, excess, or pride. These may seem harmless, even stylish, but they create an atmosphere, a subtle field of energy that affects the mind. In true martial arts, the sword is not a tool of destruction, it is a tool of inner refinement. It teaches stillness, restraint, humility. The Shaolin path is not about overpowering others, it is about mastering the self. The moment you begin to admire violence or greed as power, you walk away from that path. The environment you live in should be a mirror of your discipline. It should remind you of your values, not your impulses. Peace, simplicity, integrity. These are not just ideas, they are choices reflected in what you allow to stay in your space. If your surroundings reflect conflict, aggression, or excess, you may notice more agitation in your thoughts, more restlessness in your body. It becomes harder to center yourself, harder to find the quiet that leads to insight. Walk through your home with awareness. Ask not just what something is, but what it celebrates. Does it honor stillness or provoke chaos? Does it call you toward your higher self or flatter the ego? To live with clarity is to choose what uplifts the spirit, remove what clouds it. Even a small act of discernment can open a wide door toward balance. In moments of stillness, the mind reveals its true state, but for many, stillness has become unbearable. Silence is filled instantly with noise, flashing images, endless scrolling. The world offers escape at every turn, but in escaping discomfort, we also lose the chance to awaken. There is a kind of entertainment that refreshes the spirit, stories that uplift, music that soothes, teachings that guide. But there is another kind that does the opposite. It numbs, it feeds fear, conflict, and illusion. It distracts, not to rest the mind, but to drown it. Dark films, violent games, gossip-driven shows, and content built on outrage or excess, these are not just pastimes, they are patterns. They train the mind to chase stimulation, to avoid presence, to stay reactive. In the ancient teachings, anything that dulls awareness is seen as a danger, not because it is evil, but because it weakens the gatekeeper within. A distracted mind cannot defend itself. It is open to suggestion, to emotional hijacking, to manipulation. This is what we call inviting demons, not as monsters, but as inner forces that grow stronger in unconscious living. The path of mastery is not rigid, but it is intentional. It teaches discipline of attention, to notice what enters through the eyes, the ears, the heart, to ask, does this content elevate me, or does it erode my presence? True mindfulness is not only found in meditation, it is in the choice of what you consume. Every show, every sound, every scroll leaves a trace. It is not wrong to rest, but there is a difference between rest and escape. One restores your energy, the other steals it silently. Be mindful of the difference. Your awareness is sacred, guard it well. Everything carries a story. a garment, a piece of furniture, even the food on your plate, each has passed through many hands before reaching yours. And with every hand, an energy is transferred. The energy of care or neglect, of honesty or exploitation, of peace or pain. In the quiet of disciplined living, these subtle vibrations become clearer. You begin to feel the weight of things, not just their function or form, but the part they took to arrive in your life. A shirt stitched in silence by weary hands. A product made through cruelty, concealed behind marketing. A trinket sold through deception. These are not just unethical, they are unclean energetically. They enter your home and settle into your space with the unseen residue of suffering. To live in harmony is not just about what you consume, but how you consume it, where it comes from, whether it honors life or violates it. The teachings speak of right action, not only in behavior, but in how we interact with the world. When you surround yourself with things created through greed or harm, it is not just your home that suffers, it is your inner field. These vibrations shape the atmosphere in which your thoughts, emotions, and actions arise. True strength begins with awareness, not perfection, but intention. A willingness to slow down and ask, what is the cost of this convenience? Who paid the price for my comfort? Living with integrity brings a different kind of peace. Not the comfort of soft cushions, but the quiet knowing that your choices do not add to the suffering in the world. The more disciplined your path, the more sensitive you become. And in that sensitivity, you learn. Nothing is truly yours unless it has been chosen with conscience. Some things appear ordinary, but stir subtle forces around us. A mirror is such a thing, silent, still, yet powerful. Not because it reflects the body, but because it interacts with energy. In ancient teachings across Chen, Taoist and Shaolin adjacent paths, placement of objects is not random. It follows the unseen flow of qi, the life force that moves through all things. When a mirror faces the bed, it is said to invite restlessness. The bed is a place of surrender, healing, and deep stillness. A mirror here acts as an active presence. It reflects energy back toward you, preventing the mind from fully releasing. Sleep becomes light. Dreams become disturbed. You may not know why, but your spirit does not settle. When a mirror faces the front door, it is believed to push away what enters, repelling not just harmful influences, but also protective energies meant to guard your space. The entrance is the mouth of your home spirit. What you place before it speaks to the energies you welcome or reject. These placements do not summon demons in the way stories suggest, but they create imbalance. And imbalance is the soil in which inner demons, anxiety, agitation, fear, begin to grow. The outer world and inner world are not separate. The placement of a mirror, the direction of your bed, the light that falls across your floor, these all affect the inner atmosphere. Mastery means becoming sensitive to such details, not superstitious, but attentive. You may find that when the flow of your space is calm, so is your breath. When your room feels settled, so does your heart. Wisdom lies in harmony, and harmony is not only found in big decisions. It begins with the quiet arrangements of daily life. There was a time when silence was natural, when stillness was not rare. Now, even in moments alone, something is always watching, listening, notifying. The hum of a screen, the glow of a device, the invisible net of connection that never rests. In the Shaolin way, presence is the highest discipline. The ability to be fully where you are, with your senses clear and undivided, is a form of strength greater than any strike or technique. But technology, especially when unchecked, scatters that strength. Every ping, every scroll, every alert is a call away from now. Over time, this breaks the natural rhythm of the mind. It becomes restless, expectant, distracted. Attention no longer flows, it flickers. And in this flickering, awareness begins to dim. Surveillance devices, constant data collection, and overstimulation through media do more than just invade privacy. They create a sense that nothing is ever fully yours, not your time, not your thoughts, not even your rest. The mind becomes shaped by what it anticipates, being watched, being interrupted, being pulled. The ancient path does not reject tools. Even a sword is just metal until it is guided by purpose. Technology, too, is neutral. It can aid the journey or hinder it. The danger is not in the device, it is in our dependence. Mastery means knowing how to use what is useful and when to set it down. To spend long hours connected outwardly is to become disconnected inwardly. Slowly, the inner voice grows faint, the breath shortens, The stillness retreats. Choose to protect your awareness. Set boundaries. Make space where no signals reach, no screens glow, no data flows. In that space, you will find something modern life tries to erase: your original mind, undisturbed and awake. A man can live in a temple carved from stone, surrounded by incense, quiet and beauty, and still be tormented. And another may live in a modest, simple room and know deep peace. The difference is not in the space itself, but in the one who occupies it. There is a deeper truth behind every teaching on demons, protection, or sacred space. The real gatekeeper is your own mind. What you allow to grow inside you becomes what walks beside you. Anger, when repeated, becomes a companion. Envy becomes a shadow. Pride becomes a mask that weighs heavy. Shame becomes an echo that follows your every step. These inner habits, unseen by others, shape your reality more than any object or arrangement ever could. It is easy to remove things from a shelf, harder to remove what has rooted in thought. A bitter reaction, a harsh word, the refusal to forgive. These are the real hauntings, not spirits in the air, but patterns in the self. In the old teachings, demons are not always outer entities. They are inner distortions. When left unexamined, they grow strong. When fed with repetition, they grow bold. The way forward is not to fear them, but to recognize them, to bring the light of attention to each reaction, each emotion, each craving, not with judgment, but with discipline. If your home is clean but your mind is cluttered, peace will not stay. If your words carry poison, no incense will purify the space. The true cleansing begins within, not once, but daily, not in grand gestures, but in quiet choices. That is the work of the inner warrior, to clear the path not just around you, but inside you. The things we allow into our homes and into our minds shape the lives we live. Not all demons are loud or monstrous. Some hide in comfort. Some take the shape of old habits, forgotten objects, or unexamined thoughts. Shaolin wisdom does not ask us to fear, but to see clearly, to look around and within with calm awareness. When we choose discipline, when we live with intention, the so-called demons lose their grip. This is not a path of extremes, but of quiet choices. One object removed, one breath taken with presence, one reaction softened by understanding. Over time, this becomes your practice, and your life begins to feel lighter, clearer, more yours. Let your space reflect the harmony you seek. Let your actions carry the energy you wish to live in. Thank you for walking this path with us today. If you found value in this teaching, please like the video and subscribe to our channel, 1000 Days of Stillness. May your inner space be clear. May your spirit remain grounded. And may you meet each day with calm strength.